Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jill Chang, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Bayview. Welcome to Bayview and our beautiful 62-plus nonprofit life plan community. So Bayview is known for our spectacular views on our 10th floor, our full continuum, our unique intergenerational children's center on site. We have about 40 kids, 40 students, ages infant to pre-kindergarten. And we have a wonderful supporting entity called Bayview Manor Foundation. And the foundation supports residents who run out of financial resources at no fault of their own. And most uniquely, we have a vibrant community here with over 200 residents and 200 staff here. So before I turn the mic over to our wonderful speaker today, Katie, I wanted to share a conversation that I had just a few days ago with an incoming new resident, and her name is Julia, and Julia is moving to Bayview next month. And her transition to Bayview is one that's filled with excitement and anxiety. This is a very big move for Julia. And I asked her, this was just a few days ago, I said, Julia, what was it that made you say, now is the time? And she had a very contemplative pause, and her response was very thoughtful. And she said, Jill, I have been in my house for over 50 years. And I asked myself, Jill, do I want to spend the next 2 to 3 years managing the stress of the home? Or do I want to spend the next few years in freedom to do the things I love? And she said that was a very easy answer to respond to, but certainly the small sacrifice of a big move to any move really, and a life plan community is very, very difficult. And so I thank Julia for allowing me to share her story with you all today. In fact, Julia is working with Katie, I believe, in coming to Bayview next month. So I want to go over some program details today very briefly. So we'll have the presentation by Katie in the next half hour. And afterwards, we'll transition everybody to the 10th floor, and where you can relax and enjoy the view, and we'll have appetizers and drinks up there. And we're going to have resident tour guides and myself give tours throughout the rest of the program. So we'll have tours every 15 minutes. And so you won't, at any opportunity, if you'd like to take a tour, you're welcome to go on the resident tour guides at different intervals. We're going to have opportunity to see 4 apartments, so different sizes, studio, alcove, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom, and also 4 different views. And so I'm very excited for that. Look at my cheat sheet here. And very quickly, a shout out to, we're live streaming here. I'm going to say hello to Jennifer from Alaska and some other prospective residents who are tuning in with our live stream here. All right, without further ado, I'm so pleased to introduce Katie Larson. Katie has been such a valued and trusted partner with Bayview and many other communities, families, individuals across Seattle. And we're so excited that she's going to bring her wealth of 30 years of experience in helping people with extraordinary move management and downsizing strategies. So let's give a warm welcome to Katie. Thank you.
So as she said, I'm Katie with Moves Made Simple. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, my team, and my family, and how I got started. I have a degree from Washington State University from a zillion years ago. Met my wonderful husband there, and we have 2 darling daughters who we are very fortunate are launched and living on their own. One's here at the top of Queen Anne, not far from Bayview. The other is down in San Diego, living her best life in the sunshine. My dog Rudy, that's terrible. I just left a client's and they had a dog named Rudy, and that was my past dog. But this is Otter. He gets me up walking every single morning, rain, shine, sleet or snow. I couldn't do my life without him. He's just great. And my fabulous team. As I said, I got my degree in interior design from Washington State University. I sold contract office furniture for about 15 years, and in that career, I did project management and space planning and a lot of new business development, a lot of sales, but a lot of compassionate sales in that experience. And when I moved back to Seattle, I guess at one point I worked with a real estate agent, and she carried about 50 listings at a time, and I did all of her home staging and marketing. And so I've got a lot of background in a variety of different things. And so when I moved back to Seattle about 15 years ago, my mom was moving from her longtime family home into a retirement community. And I helped her purge and sort and do all of that. And then we didn't speak to each other for about a year. Wish I had never done that. My brother seemed to have abandoned me in that time of need. And then I heard about this thing called a move manager. I had no idea that the career even existed. So I looked into going to work for somebody, and I was doing a few interviews and thought, well, you know what, I think I might be able to do this. So I hung up my shingle about 14 years ago. I now have 5 women that work for me, and they are fabulous, hardworking, empathetic, amazing people. I couldn't do this job without them. They are the light of this company, and they're fabulous. And I think you all would enjoy them as much as I do. So today, I want to talk about how to declutter your home, whether you do it yourself or whether you hire a professional or bring a friend in to help you out. First, you want to create a checklist. You want to determine exactly what you want to take with you. Go through your entire home. It's not going to happen overnight. It took you years to accumulate all of this stuff. You are not going to be getting rid of it in a day or even 2 days. It might even take a month or a couple of months. The more help you can get, the better. But first, get that checklist made. Then prioritize. Figure out exactly what the most important things are for you to do. You need to review your list, go through it. Maybe there's some things you know you're not going to get to before you move. Maybe it's photo albums. And you've got, I have to move my notes to the other side. There might be cords over here, but it's just the way I look. There, much better. Just prioritize what you're going through. Maybe there's some items that you're not going to be able to get through. If you're in a time crunch, you're going to be moving in 30 days, and so you've got photo albums. Well, let's pack those up. Let's get them in a box and we'll label them, and they'll go to your storage unit in your new place, and just know that that's what you're going to tackle on a rainy day. So just be real with yourself. Then you're going to focus on one room or space at a time. The biggest thing you can do is stay in a certain area. Don't zigzag through the house. And again, it sounds so simple to do, but it's difficult. You just need to get yourself focused in one area. Create containers before you get going. The first one is your keep or put away. There's always going to be things misplaced within your room. We helped this one gentleman. He had moved here from Bainbridge Island, and then he was downsizing again. And as we were helping him out, we kept coming across flashlights. Just like, what on earth? Actually, we moved him to Bayview. That was years ago. And he's like, well, I lived on Bainbridge Island, and our power went out all the time. I was like, well, you haven't lived on Bainbridge Island in 10 years. And so as we went through and had this box of keep put away, we came out with a dozen flashlights, which, needless to say, nobody needs a dozen flashlights in a 1 or 2 bedroom condo. So it's just really important to get things into their proper space. Then you're going to have your box that's a toss box. That's going to be your donation. It's going to be your garbage recycle. You'll have your donate box. And once you start filling up that box, don't just set it by the door. Don't stick it in the garage. Get it in your car so that it actually gets out of the house. It's so easy to start piles. And a lot of times we'll go into houses and they've got different piles, but they haven't labeled it. So, well, I think that's it, but we need to go through it again. That might be dry cleaning. So just pay attention to what you've done. Then you've got your giveaway box. And this might sound like the same thing as donate, but those are the cherished items. Those are the things that you're not just willing to give to Goodwill. Those are the things that you want
your Aunt Betty to have, or maybe it's your niece Susan that has always said she's loved your china, and now it's the time to give it to her. Then you've got your maybe box. We all have things in our homes that, it's like, I'm not sure I'm quite ready to get rid of those. But then once you've sorted through the whole house, you know what? I don't need 6 pairs of black pants, or I don't need all those flashlights, or I don't need my turkey roasting pan. And so there's going to be those maybe items, and as you go through and work through the house, those are the things you can determine at a later point as to whether or not you really need them. And sell. We all hope that there's going to be items that are sellable. And it varies from house to house. It varies from the type of item. I've found now that dining room tables are almost impossible to sell. For whatever reason, the next generation, I don't know where they're eating, but they're not eating at dining room tables. So, and you've probably heard mid-century modern is super in, and Victorian's not. But it all depends. It's what happens within your process in your home and where we can find to distribute things. So next, you want to create a schedule. Keep your goals realistic. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. So set a goal. Maybe it's an hour. And then at that point, then you get to take a break. Turn off your phone, turn on some music, put on some comfortable clothes, and really focus for that 1 hour. Then when you're done, then you treat yourself to a bar of chocolate. Maybe not a whole bar, but a piece of chocolate. And be able to turn on your phone and answer an email. But focus yourself and make sure that you're really paying attention and keeping that goal realistic, that you're going to stay in this one area for this 1 hour solid. And then start in an area with high impact. We did a house last week, and they're getting ready to put it on the market, and the garage they had a lot to get rid of throughout the entire house. But the garage was filled to the gills with things. And the center of the garage was primarily things they had already sorted and purged, but again, they hadn't labeled anything, so they didn't really know. So we went back through the garage, cleared out the center of the garage, so that then we had a spot to bring everything in from the rest of the house. Cleared out the center, then we went to the perimeter of the garage and made sure that everything on the shelves were things they wanted to keep. And then we started room by room throughout the house and had a place to bring them down to the garage. But by starting there, it was this great impact, and it gave them this sense of relief, knowing that as they're going through the house, they had a place to take things to, that it wasn't such an overwhelming project. So questions to keep in mind as you're going through. Do I love it? Is it something I love, or is it just something I've had forever? Is it something someone gave you and you feel obligated to keep? If so, maybe you don't need to keep it. The chances are they're not going to come by and be looking for that one particular vase that they gave you 10 years ago. Do I use it? Do you really use it? Is it broken? Realistically, are you going to fix it? If it's stained, is it damaged? Really think about that. Do I use it? Do I want it in my life going forward? Think about what your life is going to be. Do you have a turkey roasting pan? Are you going to be hosting Thanksgiving dinner in Bayview or whatever new space you move into? It might be something you've done for years, but just think about, will I use it in my life going forward? Do I have another one of these? Again, going back to the flashlights. Really think about how many you need of this particular item. And again, it used to be when you have a bigger space that you can have multiples of one item. But now as you go forward, there really isn't the need as much as there once was. Is this something I could borrow? I have a case of wine glasses in my car right now that are going to my sister-in-law for a party she's having. She keeps the glass plates and I keep the wine glasses, and we exchange them whenever we're having big parties. And that's something to think about when, these are things you can share with friends and borrow from others. Did I even remember I owned this? It's a big thing. How many times do you open a cupboard and go to the way back and go, oh my gosh, I forgot I even had canning jars. That was something I tried years ago. Would I miss it if it were gone? Does this fit in my new lifestyle? Is this really something you're going to be doing? Maybe you were a knitter, or maybe you tried art, painting. Are you going to do it now? Is this what's going to happen in your new lifestyle? In what situation would I use this? So really, these are just questions you want to have just going through your mind as you're going through things. When I walked in, I saw an old client, Ann Erickson, and for some reason, she popped up and said, oh, I just love that quote from William Morris. Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. And that's it's a really good point statement. I think it's from the 1800s. So to think that a statement from the 1800s is still valid today is just wonderful. How to declutter each room. Basically, it's the same for each and every space. There's going to be some variances between a bathroom and kitchen, but the goal is the same. You're trying to get rid of that clutter. So start by creating a clean surface. Maybe you make your bed so that you're not trying to pile things on top of that unmade bed. You clear off the dining room table, clear off your kitchen counter. Give yourself a surface to work on. And then focus on one area. Again, don't zigzag. Just focus on that one area. Maybe it's the pantry. And so you're going to go through the entire pantry. So that's your 1 hour. You're not saying you're going to get through the whole kitchen in an hour. You're going to go through your pantry an hour. If that's too big of a goal, then you say, I'm going to go through the top 2 shelves of my pantry. Be realistic when you're doing this. Start in one area, again, pantry, the bathroom, cabinets, the attic, and you're going to start in the left side of the attic or the right side of the attic. Just be realistic with that. And then you want to touch everything. Make sure as you open up that pantry and you get to that top shelf, you don't go, oh, I know I use everything on that top shelf, because the chances are those canning jars are behind all that stuff on the top shelf. So you need to get in there, pull everything out, and touch everything. And then you think you're finished, go back and do it again. Go back a couple weeks later if you've got the time and rethink it. It's amazing how after you've gotten into kind of the whole groove of downsizing and decluttering, you go back to that space, go, oh my gosh, why did I think I needed to keep this? And we find it more often than not. In the first space, you have a really tough time. You've given away this whole box of stuff, and so then you kind of freeze and go, I just can't do anymore. So you're getting rid of less and less and less. And then you go back 2 weeks later, and you look at it again and just be ruthless. You know what? No, I don't need this. I can borrow this. I haven't used this. It doesn't fit. I'm not going to fix it. Use your containers. You've made these containers, brought them along with you. Use them. Figure out things that need to go back to their correct home. Figure out things you can give away, things you can donate, things you can toss. There's so many different places you can give things to. So use those containers and really think that through. So then, where do you get rid of it? And this is, in some ways, a little bit more difficult post-pandemic than it was pre-pandemic. But on the other hand, there are so many online options and a variety of options to do and get rid of things. There's consignment shops, there's collectors. In the spring, there's church rummage sales. I have a great collector that comes in and he takes a high percentage, but he comes in and cherry picks and takes things I'd never guessed in a million years it would have value. And he finds a home for these things. And there's such a great variety of consignment shops. You can do something like a Ballard Consign that takes a huge variety of different things. Or there's Cycle Recycle. There's piano consignment shops. There's just a really good variety, and I'm happy to go through and give you guys my list of different consignment shops that are available. And there's thrift stores and donation sites. And you've got your big Goodwill that, as we all know, takes everything but the kitchen sink. But you've got smaller ones. You've got Ryther House that focuses on kids' things. You have Jubilee or Mary's Place. They're great for toiletries or twin bedding. Community Lunch is a great place for men's clothing. Again, just a huge variety of different places depending on what you have in your home. And even home construction things. There's Ballard Reuse is great for products within your house. The paint stores now take paint cans. So you don't have to sit there and dry them out in your garage. You can take whole cans of paint, partial cans of paint, to the paint store for recycling. Online, there's a variety of different places. There's OfferUp, there's Buy Nothing, Craigslist. Huge variety of different places to either sell or donate online. And then you've got curbside pickup. Remember, you are paying to have garbage and recycle picked up every week. Fill up your bins. Use that money that you're already throwing out the door and fill up those garbage cans in the bins. And lastly, I always say, don't discount the junk hauler. And people kind of freak out and say, oh, but I don't want it to go to the junk. I don't want it to go to the landfill. And it's in their best interest. They're charging you a flat fee. It's in their best interest to donate or recycle the products because it reduces their base cost. I have a great junk hauler that I've worked with for years, and I always think they're going to just, they just toss it in that truck. But I was talking to the owner it was just a month or so ago, and I was just kind of freaking out because I'm like, I know it says on your website this is what you do. And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, it all comes back to the yard. You can come down and see the yard. It all comes back to the yard. And we distribute it in pilot. He goes, I don't want to put that in the landfill. I want to get as much profit as I can. So they all run about the same price, and they all seem to do about the same thing, but I've just found this one company is great. But again, just don't discount that. So lastly, I just wanted to share some pictures of what my team has done over the years. It's always kind of fun to see some pictures, and then you're welcome to ask me any questions. This is a picture of my team and I at a client's condo. She snapped this when we were done, moved her in with a whole ton of boxes and had her kitchen all set up and put away by the end of the day. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is an old client, and she had cancer, and she had two twins, they must have been 3-4 years old. And all these friends and family had donated these things to her while she was sick to help with the kids. And needless to say, she was too sick to take care of it. So once she got better, she hired us, and we went through and cleared it out and created this organized structure that she could go and pull things from. So we had the clothes separated by age, and we had toys separated by age, and we got rid of the things that didn't actually work for her family. But it was just a really rewarding job, and they've been great longtime clients, helped them again over the years in different moves. This was a job, another kitchen unpack, and just getting them all settled in their new home. We happened to do the entire house of this one. It just is the picture of their kitchen. The movers brought all the boxes in. We try to get the movers to bring the kitchen boxes in first, and that way we can get the kitchen unpacked and organized and put away, so that when the rest of the things come in, we've got time to get the rest of the house unpacked that afternoon. This was a client's basement, and she had these great storage cabinets, but had never used them. She just kept piling things in front of those storage cabinets. So she hired us to pull everything out of there and get it back in the cabinets. And we actually didn't get rid of much in this one. We just helped her organize it and figure out that she had space for it. This was a client that was living overseas, and they had everything in storage, so they hired us to come in and pull everything out of storage and put it away and make it look as if they'd lived there for 6 months and we had the pictures hung. It was a really fun project. Oh, this was great. This was a client that wanted to get their car parked in the garage, and needless to say, couldn't. So they hired us to go through and purge and get everything out of the center of the garage and put on the sides so they could get a car put in the garage. So thank you, that's me. Happy to answer any questions anybody has. Yes,
What's the name of your junk hauler?
Seattle Rubbish Removal. Sure. Yes.
Is all this information on your website?
It is on my website, and there's a flyer in the back there, and you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I'm happy to have either a phone conversation or meet with you for a free consultation. There's no obligation to it.
Katie, I think Jamie had a question.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You mentioned the Ballard consignment. What was that specifically, and where is it? Is that the one on Leary?
No, I think Ballard Consignment's on 5th 15th. I'd have to look. I don't remember. But it's a big one in Ballard.
24th Avenue.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, well, you're right, 24th. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
For the other arterial.
Right, right. And
that's what it's called,
Ballard can sign
How far
and,
up, how far up, would you say they go on 24th?
yeah, it's not
Near
far.
Market.
Yeah, it's near Market. Yeah.
Near
It's,
Market?
yeah, right near Market. And they're a big consignment shop and they take a good variety of different things. You can email them a picture and Victor's their guy. It's on their website, or you can call me and I can give you their email address. But you send him a picture of your things and he'll tell you typically within a day whether or not they're interested in taking it.
And
Yeah.
Habitat for Humanity
Yes.
will do pickup for big items if they're in good condition.
And they have to be in your garage or outside. They don't come inside your home. But, yeah.
Have you worked with the consignment shop in Magnolia?
Bellocchio or, you're thinking of, yes, I have.
In Magnolia?
Yes, in Magnolia proper, yes, I have, yes. They take primarily mid-century, and also small items. They love small kitchen, decor, that sort of thing, but it's a fairly small shop. I'm spacing on their name right now. Models, thank you. Models, yes, a great consignment shop. Yes.
Do you work out of Seattle?
We primarily work Seattle, Bellevue, Greater King County, but depending on the season and time of year, we can definitely go farther. Oh, yeah, definitely Edmonds, not a problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check your website.
Yeah, sure. Yes,
For a couple of 3 years now, we've been donating all kinds of things to the little villages.
oh, I'm not familiar with that.
People who are in transition from the
Oh.
The
street.
tiny house village.
Yes, oh, that's great,
We've even been taking our plastic cottage cheese and whatnot containers with lids. These people don't afford Tupperware.
yeah. Oh, I would love if you'd send me an email with that contact information, that would be great. I have a new resource now for somebody that's collecting furniture and small goods for the Ukrainian refugees as well, so, yeah.
What
I mean,
they
I just
told
named
me
a few
about-
of my,
What they told us about the tiny house village is that they go through things there for their current people. And then they have a warehouse that anything that isn't appropriate there, they send on to the warehouse to be distributed among other tiny house villages where appropriate, so.
oh, that's fabulous. I had not heard about donating to the tiny houses, so I would love it if you would send me that
They have not
information.
turned down anything we've ever brought.
All right, that's great. It's always good to hear about something new. Yes,
Okay, it turns out I did an inventory, I got quite a collection of Northwest artists paintings. Is there somebody that's good for giving evaluations about what you think I can relate to that?
I have an appraiser. I don't know, he would have to let you know what his pricing would be, but yes, definitely. If you want to reach out, I can give you the name of an appraiser. Yeah. Yes.
Do most of these places like Modell's and Magnolia and Bell and Franklin, do they expect you personally to get it to their place, or do they have city trucks?
They expect you to bring the items to them. They all have moving companies that they work with. So, the would suggest, correct, but you pay for it, correct. You pay for it, you schedule it.
My captain Modell is making time, so it's overwhelming to all out.
Right.
Take one and say, well, you want it or not. but-
Yeah. And most of them will take pictures. So instead of having to go there with the items, if you email them pictures, they can tell you whether or not they're interested in the items. Yes.
Do you have any hints or resources for dealing with the emotional aspects of leaving a house you dream?
Well, that's where my wonderful team comes in. I always say we're a little bit psychiatrists, sociologists. I mean, there's just, it's something I never knew was part of our job description, but we're very good at working with people. I can't say I have any particular tips, but enlisting a friend to help you, not doing it on your own. Again, setting a timeline so that you're not stuck in a closet for hours and not zigzagging so that you actually see a result at the end of the day. So again, if you do that pantry, focus and actually just do the pantry. Don't start in the pantry and then walk away and go work on the kitchen drawers. Stay in one place, so at the end of the day, you really feel like you got something done. But bringing a friend in, hired help is amazing. And companies like myself, I've never heard that they're not compassionate when working with clients. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all very much. Again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you so much, Katie. And Katie, you have some flyers you said out in the back over here? Okay. Can we give another applause to Katie and her time here in expertise? Thank you so much for being here. I would love to introduce a couple of staff members here who are going to help us navigate to the 10th floor. Just a heads up as well, there's bathrooms here behind you, the men's bathroom over here and female bathroom, women's bathroom right behind the Albertson Center. Marco Bauman is our Director of Resident Operations, and Barbara Young is our Resident Operations Manager. And Grace Michaels, who is my right-hand woman, I don't know where she is, she's probably working behind the scenes, but they're gonna help navigate you to the 10th floor. So Marco and Barbara are gonna be your point person to bring us up to the 10th floor. And again, there's going to be drinks and appetizers, and we have about 7 resident tour guides and myself throughout the remainder of the time here. So thank you all so very much. And Barbara and Marco, take it away.
We're in Pied Pipers. Whenever you're ready to travel, we'll see you at the elevator bank right over here to your left as you exit the room. Take your time.
If anybody would like to talk to Katie, Katie's going to stick around for a few minutes as well, so feel free to connect with Katie if you like.
Jenny, so nice to see you.
Correct. So, but the main elevator is the other elevator on floor 1, which is where we park. Is where the lobby and the van picks up people, and the elevator's on the other side. So we're on the floor, if you walk out that door, the elevator's on the other side. So we can go to that elevator in this area doesn't stop. Yes, it does, but it's outside. Oh, I see what you mean, the one that. Yes. So if you go up the stairs. That's fine. It's not touring. Okay, so they'll just pull it. Well, they're showing some use of it.
I just want to heard her.
They haven't even
Bulldoze it out and just go sit in an empty
I don't
room.
think they do. They're probably showing.
Saving for my.
I don't know.
We all do it, you know.
Oh, my
Say,
God.
oh, your house must be immaculate.
Oh my God, I have one room that I don't let anybody in, because that's where everything is, that's sitting in pile. Anyway,
But yes to the tour,
You're
we're gonna see opposites.
so I'm not gonna take time.
And you're not gonna waste, or you're not gonna miss seeing those, because the next time you come, I'm sure you still have those as well.
Okay, good.
Oh,
I should go to the 10th.
I was gonna say.
We're waiting to use the elevator till everybody else is done.
It will take a little while. Of course, everybody who's in this room will fit in the elevators all at once.
And they're all very slow.
Yep.
But I made that list of do I need it, do I
Katie,
love
thank
it?
you so
do
Oh, you're so welcome, Jill. Take
Such
care.
an
Thank you.
unsatisfactory goodbye. Thank you.
I will see you next week.
Thank you, Kate.
That list, that one list, that list that I borrowed.
Have you all met?
She
She took us on our
toured
first
us.
tour. This is the celebrity that was on TV the next.
That's right.
Yes, I was.
So we know a celebrity.
Becca has moved some people from interest to move in. I don't remember how many people you've touched and
A number.
I know.
It's fun.
So shall we?
I'm glad to be of
Well, we
use.
just figure, we don't need to go on a tour because we've seen everything unless you've got something specific you want to show us.
Well, and there's all the wonderful food and
see, I let
drink
Becca
that's
just-
gonna
Oh,
be
we
out.
are gonna go.
We're gonna go
Oh,
there. We just
know
weren't in a
about the
hurry.
food and the champagne.
Plus, there's a a little bit of a bottleneck,
Yeah.
so take your
Or
time.
we thought we'd just maybe trundle up to the stairs and use the other,
You could use
because we know how.
the center staircases.
Oh, no, we're not walking.
Not that far.
I was gonna say, you're brave.
We could go up one and across one too.
The other day I got trapped in the west stairwell.
We locked that
I couldn't get out. I was locked out.
Those are those key fob or the fob? The
Not
notch
really
keys.
work. It's a notch key, but it would not work.
I hope we got a good one or replaced it for you.
I told Parsons.
She was
it
pissed
didn't
off
work.
about that.
Yeah, she still is a little bit.
We're still
I told
feeling,
Parsons.
we need to resolve that.
You don't like your management class on this?
I wound up walking clear down and going out an emergency exit that did not sound.
Did you have your cell phone?
No.
Because that's
One of the
nerve-wracking
rare
if I don't have your cell phone.
occasions when I did not have my cell phone on me.
Becca is still feeling the steam
She
of
is.
not being. No, I'm glad they're in it.
I haven't heard back as to whether or not Parsons discovered that the door was actually locked. Doors, I tried every floor on the way out.
The ones that are.
Stuff does happen once in a
Well, of
while,
course it does.
you
We're
know.
not a perfect place, right? There's no perfect community.
Stuff happens, you know, it's just
The
that's the
line
way
has
life
gotten
is.
short, pardon me.
Yeah.
The
You
line
want
is
us up there?
I am going to go
in your
have
time.
something yummy to eat.
Becca,
Okay.
come on up.
You were gonna say,
Excellent.
Jill, you were gonna say something about, is there something you want to show us specifically?
If you wanted to revisit apartment availability, absolutely. Otherwise, today is going to show 4 different apartment sizes and views that you probably haven't seen in the past.
We've got to see several people.
And there's
like
no
that.
obligation to do a tour. There are people who probably won't do it because they've already done tours many times.
Well, that's what I figured, that they said that was.
Here.